In this video, I'm going to take you through my process of creating a gem. And in this case, I'd like to create a gem that will support my team with data dialogues. So I'm going to call it my data dialogue coacher. I'm going to start in Google Gemini where I like to brainstorm. And I'm going to prompt it for instructions. Before I do so, I'd like to remind myself of what makes a good prompt for a gem. Eventually, a good gem will have a solid persona, task, context, and format. So I'd like to keep some of these things in mind while I'm drafting this initial prompt. So for example, the persona. This is a data dialogue coacher. So I'm going to make sure that its tone and its target audience matches that. Next, its task. It's going to coach me through a data dialogue protocol that we call so what, here's what, now what. So I'm going to keep that in mind while I'm writing these instructions too. Next, the context for this gem is going to be K-12 neutral because I'd like this to be usable by many people. But if your context was a little bit different per grade level, maybe you're working in elementary school, middle, or high, you want to verify that purpose here or solidify that there. Next is the format. This gem is not going to be generating anything in a particular format. It's going to be coaching a team through a series of questions that will get them to examine their data on their own. But if I wanted this to generate easy to read content or even video or audio, I could put that here as well. Okay, so I'm going to pause here and generate or think through that prompt for myself, and we'll capture that right here. All right, so unpausing, this is my initial stab at a prompt for Gemini. I have in a few key areas. 1 is persona, 2 is task, 3 is context, and 4 is format. So the purpose is to assist educators as they examine student assessment data. I'd like for this gem to act like an expert data dialogue coach in order to support the team in brainstorming insights for instruction based on this data dialogue. I want to ask the team for the context of the assessment, including the grade level, demographics, and type of assessment. And last, I always want to make sure that this coach is speaking to the user in a clear, easy to read format using bullet points and headings if needed. All right, so now we're going to see what Gemini comes up with in terms of an initial set of instructions for this gem. And I'm going to do my refinement on the gem builder. So what I'm going to do is just copy what it's given me, knowing that I am confident about my prompt. And now I'm going to actually create this. So left-hand toolbar here, we're going to expand this menu using that cheeseburger or the 3 lines. Click Gems, and then this is our gem manager. Here we're going to click New Gem. Next, I'm going to fill out a couple key areas. I'm going to give this gem a name, a description. I'm pasting my instructions right here, and I'll refine those in a moment. I can choose a default tool here. For simplicity's sake, we're not going to choose one. But if I did want to have this data dialogue coach generate images or code, I could do that. And then I could also give this data dialogue coach some knowledge. Knowledge might be your grade level standards. It might even be knowledge of a data dialogue protocol, which I do have on hand, so I'm going to add that as a file here. I'm going to pause while I fill out these fields, and then we'll be back. And we're back. All right, some fields we filled out: data dialogue coacher. The description is the purpose of this gem is to coach educators through a data dialogue process. I pasted in those initial Gemini responses right here. And then I did include one piece of knowledge that I have, add files. I uploaded this file, and this is my data dialogue question bank. I did not create this, but this is something that I had access to as an instructional coach and in collaboration with instructional coaches. So I have attached that as well. If you have a different protocol that you like to use or a set of questions for data dialogues, that might be something that you include. All right, now I'm going to use Gemini to rewrite the instructions, and this optimizes my prompt for this particular use case. So this is my magic crayon. I'm going to press that, and this is going to rewrite that initial Gemini response and revise it for this, optimizing this gem. I'm going to now read through this again, and I want to make sure that this is a coaching process, that it will gather information on educators before it coaches them through a data dialogue process. Okay, so I'll pause right here and refine this set of instructions by reading through it with my human lens. All right, and as I'm reading through, I'm finding one potential area for refinement, so I am going to write this here. So to do this, I'm just going to include some asterisks, and then I'm going to say to prompt the user to attach any documentation that might support this process, like data spreadsheets, the assessment itself, or anything else. All right, and here's what I wrote to add that specificity. Prompt the user to attach any documentation that might support the data dialogue, assessments, spreadsheets as CSVs if possible, grade level standards from VDOE, SIP plans, or agendas. Now I'm going to use this gem to see if it does indeed act the way that I expect it to. And to do that, I can use this area off to the right-hand side. My go-to phrase for testing gems is just, hi, what do you do? To test if this gem actually knows its job. All right, and we can see that it's generating this response. It's my data dialogue coach. Its goal is to be a flashlight, not a hammer. It's going to walk me through a question bank, which I can see, and I am in the driver's seat. The next thing that it's going to do is ask me where I'd like to start by sharing the context for my data or what I'm currently analyzing. All right, this gem is ready to share. I'm going to click Save and now Share. Sharing this gem is easy. You can share with FCPS staff as a viewer or editor. I'm going to say that staff can be a viewer, and I'm going to copy this link. I can now share this with any user that I'd like. I can also ensure that my teammates are editors on this particular gem by giving them that notification as well. Okay. In order to have this gem copyable by others, I'm now going to create a force copy link of that gem, which I will not go over in this video since that is an advanced feature. However, if you would like to learn about that, go to the DIT gem jar and the resources tab to learn more. We will include a link to that gem jar in the description for this video. Let us know if you have any questions.